Hey everyone, in this video we're going to show you some of the drop-down features we have in Loocey, and I think you'll see how it's pretty much really different from anything else on the market. Again, in this video we'll just cover the drop-downs only. There's a whole lot of videos coming up, and I think for different features, but we'll focus on drop-downs in this video. So this is Loocey, and so we have our workspaces here. You could create more workspaces. You have your lists, which are like tables. So one thing with Loocey is that in the backend we create a dedicated cloud-based Postgres database for each of our customers. So when you're creating a list here, it's really actually creating a table in the database. And same thing with all the columns you create. It actually creates a column in the database. So I've gone ahead and created a couple of columns here, but let's start over. I'm gonna go to this list here. Let's start creating a couple of drop-downs. You'll see how many different features we have for even drop-down feature, just drop-down component, right? So you can name things. This internal name is actually the actual column name in the database. There's all kinds of columns we have, but I'm gonna again focus on drop-down. There's two types of drop-downs. So we're gonna try to understand both of them. There's also a status field, but we'll kind of look at. So we'll leave the defaults right now. We'll create a drop-down field, and this is now going to create a drop-down field for us, and we can now edit the options. I'm going to add an option. I'm going to say to do. I want to say done or in progress, and I want to say done. Right. So far, again, I'm leaving the default options. I didn't change anything, right? So create those now. You can select them. Again, it's gonna look like a simple default drop-down, which I think you'll get in a lot of the other softwares, right? But now let's make things interesting, right? I can go back and say, hey, you know what? For this one, I want this color, and for this one, I want maybe this other color, and maybe I even want to change my text color to be this one. I can do that and save. And now, for the ones we changed, basically they're gonna be different colors, right? Okay, that's cool. So what else we can do? Let's edit the options again. We can now also you can of course drag and drop and change the order of things, and now it's gonna order those things in the list, right? but also let's try something else. We can maybe add a tooltip, right? So, right. So in a lot of the cases, I think business users want specific tooltips on specific items. So now that there's a tooltip, right? Only on that item. The other ones don't have it because we set a tooltip. So far that's okay. So it's still the basic features. Okay, good. So but let's add another one. I'm gonna call it drop2. This time there's this value type selection. So by default it's actually using a GUID to save the value. So even though the text you'll see in the table, it's actually saving a GUID. Okay, but let's say I actually want my data to be integers in the table. I can select this. Okay, I'm gonna add this column, and now it's gonna give me a new column, new drop down. But now when I add options, I also have a number here, field here, to basically put my numbers in, as well as what the values are for that specific option. Okay, and I can save. And now in the table it's actually saving integers, right? When this becomes an integer column in the table, and it actually saves integers. And again, okay, so you don't really see it in the UI, but in the backend, I just don't want to make it too long of a video, but you could do that. You could view those options in the backend, right? So let's say, but now we want like a multi drop down. Okay, so multi. And multi also has those options, but this time it's actually saving an array of items. In Postgres there's array columns. That's what it uses to save the values. Let's say if you had selected integer again, you save this, and now when you create the multi options, you will actually in the back end it'll save array of items. Okay, so it'll still say 1, 2. It works the same way. You can change the colors. You can go crazy with the color changes, right? There's also styling changes. I don't want to go there. You can change the styles as well. You can make them smaller, bigger, radius, and so on. But we'll cover that in another video. I don't want to make this video too long. And now you could have multiple options here. I'm gonna add actually one more here, done maybe. Maybe let's do one more. So if I add more, eventually I think it's gonna show me a number, how many you're selecting. And today it's been kind of slow. I gotta look into what's causing the slowness. But we still have our basically the cutting off, but you can have like tooltips, right? That's kind of, so one other thing I want to show you before I wrap up this video. I'm gonna move this column here. I want to make, again, you can make things bigger, smaller, but I'm gonna also create like a status. So we also have like the status type, which I think has similar features, except it looks a little different. It looks like a status column, which again, depending on who you ask, these also look like statuses, but this column is actually, you know, it basically works similar. Depending, you could also set the type for the status, right? And now we have statuses I can save. So now this kind of looks like this, and you can add more options. This is kind of a status column type. Okay, so that kind of concludes our drop downs. Again, it's really flexible based on your needs, and I'm sure developers will love it too. And there's all kinds of other features that I don't want to get to, but you could create filters, you can filter out, create views, and so on. We'll cover those in another video. Thanks for watching.